Hey guys, I pray you're blessed today. I just wanted to come on here and talk to you all for a couple of minutes. I don't know if you've seen Brother Chooch's video that he just did on the portrait of King Charles, but it was very, very well done. And he had the negative images too. And I don't know who created the mirror image, but thank you to whoever did, because it's been very eye-opening, and a lot of us wouldn't have seen what we've been seeing in this portrait. And I mean, it just keeps giving. This just keeps giving. It's very, very evil. It's very evil. And I was showing my parents, and my mom was like, "Ooh, get it away from me," because she was just so freaked out by it, because it was just so demonic. We are living in the last days. We are living in the end time of the grace period. The door on grace is about to close. We're about to be raptured, and the tribulation is about to start. And I'm not saying that King Charles is the Antichrist. I don't believe he is. I don't believe that he fits the bill. I know there's a lot of people who do, but I don't believe that he is the Antichrist. Just as, honestly, I know a lot of people believe that America is Babylon, but I don't agree with that. I believe Babylon's going to be in the Middle East. But it's not worth arguing about, because, yet again, it's not a salvational issue. We might all believe different things about certain things, and that's okay. Sometimes we have to agree to disagree. And like I said, it's not worth arguing about. I like to have discussions, because we don't really know. We don't really know. And I'm thankful that we won't be here to know. That we will not be here to know. But one of the reasons why I believe that Babylon will be in the Middle East, and I believe the Prince of Saudi Arabia, I can't think of his name, I believe that he could be a very good candidate for the Antichrist. But they just posted a video, and I'll try to find it and screen share it with you all in here. But they have a video where they're showing his I think it's a 15-minute city that he's wanting to build over in Saudi Arabia. And it looks like the New Jerusalem. It looks like the Garden of Eden. I mean, it's even got the cube. It's crazy. Sorry, the cats are cray-cray. They are absolutely cray-cray. I had to redo this video because Mandrake was up here sitting, and he was just going to town, batting me in my head. So I had to stop, and I had to correct him and say, we ain't doing that. And he wasn't doing it hard, and he wasn't doing it to be mean, but it was just very distracting trying to do a video. But things are definitely escalating. Russia, they're supposed to be shooting missiles off the coast of California over by Oakland, and okay, that's what I'm talking about. They are cray-cray, which anyone who has a cat knows they can be a little neurotic sometimes anyways. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Mandrake. Russia. Things are escalating. They're escalating with Russia. They're escalating with Ukraine. They're definitely escalating in Israel. Israel is where we really need to keep our eyes on. And we need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. We need to pray for the salvation of Israel and of whosoever. And we know, sadly, that a lot of people are going to be saved during the tribulation. And it's going to be horrific. I was sitting here, again, I just been very burdened for the lost. I just lost it, just thinking about all the lost. My family, your family, our neighbors, our friends, people we don't even know. I just started thinking about all of those who haven't accepted Jesus yet, and I just started crying. I just couldn't control it. I just started crying. And it's like, I know these things have to happen, but it's still not easy. And on top of everything, I have, I believe in, confessing to one another, and, that way we can encourage each other and pray for each other and lift each other up. The Bible tells us to. I've been dealing with some very, very serious anger. I mean, it's not like me punching anyone or punching anything, but it's like the thoughts sometimes go through my head. This is the old me. This is the old me. This is not who I am now. The old me was buried with Christ. And I have been dealing with this like really bad. And I believe a lot of it has to stem from grief, because I'm going through that phase of anger, and the enemy is amplifying it, to say the least. And I've been hurting my mom's feelings, and it makes me feel like a hill. It's like I hear myself, but then it's like, surely that's not really me. I would never talk to my mom like that. And I haven't talked to my mom like that since I've gotten saved. But I think it's just the stress of, the housing market, the stress of just finances, the stress of just the grief I'm going through and missing my husband, and just the stress of work. I think it's just all just kind of the stress of still being here, because, none of us want to be here. And I think it's just all kind of collapsing in on me, and it's causing me to lash out, and the enemy is feeding on that and causing it to amplify. So we went down to my sister's today, and on the way there, something was said, and I got angry, and I hit my parents' car window as hard as I can. My finger was swollen for a while, and my ring wouldn't even budge. It was a hard hit. It hurt my hand. And my parents weren't upset, but they were just like, Heather, you've got to get this anger under control. And I just started bawling, and I said, I don't know why I feel like this. I said, I just feel so angry. And I said, I don't like feeling this way. This is not me. This is not who I am anymore. And we got down to my sister's, and I think my sister could tell something was wrong, but I didn't. And I opened up a little bit about it to her, but not a whole lot. And then the enemy started trying to put jealousy on me, because my sister and them, my sister's going through some issues. She's doing better. She had her second surgery, but she's had her reconstruction surgery, but she has to have another one in December if we're still here. And so, but other than that, everything's going pretty good. And I could just feel the enemy just causing jealousy to rise up in me, because she still has her husband. They have a beautiful home. They have beautiful kids together. And it's just like hearing them talk about the future and talking about their life. And I just started getting angrier and jealous. And all I could do was say, Lord, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. And I kind of started looking up at the ceiling, because I didn't want my sister to see that anger or my tears, because I didn't want her to think that I was crying. I just was trying to hold it together, and I knew I was losing. And not too long after that, we left. So on the way home, I opened up to my parents. And I told them how I was feeling. And so we prayed. And I was just kind of sitting there. And the Lord started ministering to my spirit. And it's like, none of this matters. Absolutely none of this matters. And everything that we see, it's going to be burnt with fire. And it's like I keep reminding myself, whether I own another home here on earth or my home is in heaven, I have a home. I have a home with my parents. But I think it's just because I feel like if I had some form of normalcy in my life, maybe I would feel a little better. But you know, I can't go on that. Sorry, got a Charlie horse. I can't go on that. None of us can go on that. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to make this about myself. I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest, that I needed prayer because I've been going through a whole lot of anger. And it's not good. It's definitely not healthy. And I could definitely use the prayers. I would not wish this pain on anybody. And some days are better than others, and other days it just seems like I'm barely making it. And sometimes I feel like a fraud. I'm tired. But I know God's going to see us through. And I'm just tired of the infighting between people who profess to be Christians, but yet they want to blast others and attack them. And it's not okay. It's not okay how some treat other people. You know, Jesus told his disciples that, you know, a new command he gives them. And this new command was to love one another as he loved them. And that's how people would know that they were his disciples, is that they love one another. We are called to love one another. We might not always agree with everything, but we are called to love one another. I do believe in holding people accountable for their actions, and whether they want to see that or not, that's between them and God. But you do it in love. You don't just attack. You confront people, but you do it in love. That's what's wrong with this world, is people are so quick to anger. And right now it's just like, I have to really ask God to help me, because some of the reactions that I want to have when people act the way they do is just in anger. And I know anger upon anger, it's not going to solve anything. It's just going to make things worse. It's going to amplify things. We are supposed to be slow to anger and slow to speak. Hold on though, guys. I know it's tough. Believe me. I know it's tough. I know it's tiring. It's a battle out there. But Jesus is going to help us get through this. But we can't do it without him. If I didn't have him, I would be a big puddle on the floor. Hold on to that blessed hope of Titus 2:13. Just keep holding on. It's not easy, but it's going to be worth it. You know, I needed that reminder that having a house here on earth and none of this stuff here really, really honestly matters. Because this is just a stepping stone to eternity. And soon, and very soon, all of this pain that we are going through, it's not even going to be a drop in the bucket. Keep your eyes focused on Jesus and hold on to him tighter than you ever have. He won't let go, so you don't let go. We are all so ready to fly. We are all so ready to get out of here. We hate it here. I mean, it's positively horrendous here. And the evil just keeps amplifying. Like I said, with that video that Brother Chooch did, I mean, Those images were horrendous, demonic to say the least. Now I know I didn't have the same exact negatives as Brother Chooch. I think his were a lot better than what mine were. I was just toying around to see what I could see. But his were phenomenal. Like I said, I don't know who did the original mirror image, but thank you for that. We are called to expose evil and warn others of that evil. You know, yes, we are definitely to spread the gospel, but we are also to expose the wickedness and evil in this world. And we can't change it, but we can show people, hey, yeah, this world is wicked. We can pray. We can ask God to change it. But we see what's happening here, guys. And we're not going to change prophecy. And we're not going to hold it off because God has an appointed time for all of this to start. Excuse me, hiccup. He has an appointed time for all of this to start. Just as the rapture is an appointed time, the tribulation starting is an appointed time. This is one reason why my dad and I felt led to do this Revelation Bible study where you all ask questions. Please make sure you post your questions because we still don't have a whole lot of them. And we really, really want to get as many as we can. And we do have a few, and I thank you for posting the ones that you have. But please keep them coming. I would rather have too many than too few. We won't be here for the 7-year tribulation, and we're going to talk about that. But during the live, but keep your eyes on Jesus. Okay. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted by messages. Squirrel. Keep your eyes focused on Jesus. Is it bath time? Hold fast. Now is the time to buckle up because things are getting bumpy out there and we don't know what we're going to see. I don't believe we're going to be here to see the worst. But we don't know what we're going to see before we go home. And if you don't know Jesus, you better start running to him right now. Because for one thing, you're not promised your next breath. And another thing is, the tribulation's getting ready to start as soon as the rapture happens. That tribulation could start at any time afterwards. It might be a day. It might be a couple. It might be a week. It might be 2 months. But the tribulation will start afterwards. The time frame of when it starts is not really that important. What's important is to make sure you're not here for that time. 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4 tells us that if we believe, just as the scriptures say, that Jesus died on the cross for all of our sins, past, present, and future, that he was buried, and on the third day he rose again. That is how you get saved. Romans 10:9 tells us that if we believe, if we confess with our mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in our heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. You will be saved, not you might be saved. There's a chance that you could be saved, but you've got to do this and that and this. You will be saved, and it's truly just believing on who Jesus is. And you believe that God did raise him from the dead. The same Holy Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead resides in us. That's pretty humbling right there. guys, I just can't shake the feeling in my spirit. Something is fixing to happen. Something big is fixing to happen, and I pray it wakes some people up. But only God knows that. But while we're here, we need to witness to the lost and love people and pray for people. Keep your eyes focused on Jesus, because he is coming, and he is coming soon. You can see all the signs. The birth pangs are increasing. All right, well, I love you all. I'm praying for y'all. And remember, post your questions. Please post your questions. The more the merrier. You can email them to me. My email is in the description box. Or you can just post them with the comment question. And you can post them on any of the videos that we do. Just make sure you please put question for live. So that way I know it's a question for the live. Because sometimes there's a lot of comments that come in at once. And luckily, thank God, my last day of work was today. So I'm going to have a little bit more free time for the next couple of weeks until I go to summer camp. But hold fast. All right, I love you all. And I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.